Florida State. Can they continue a big 24 hours for the folks in Tallahassee after the men won the regular season crown yesterday? And the fellows are getting set to come into Greensboro Coliseum this week.
One of the things that NC State wants to do is really run the floor hard and wide and see if they can get some transition opportunities against Florida State. And try to establish number 33 in white, Elissa Cunane, a first-team All-ACC center, who's open in the front of the rim.
Should be well rested. On the kick out to Konig. Cunane didn't even play in the fourth quarter in their big win over Boston College.
That's what NC State does well. Plays to and through Elissa Cunane, and she is a willing passer. Nicki Ekhomu here with the basketball, the point guard for Florida State. Very good with the ball in her hands. Terrific at reading the second level.
Wolfpack missed her first shot. Ekhomu will try for three. That slides off the rim and out of bounds.
We should also say towards the end of the game yesterday, Nausea Wolfpack took a hard fall. And I talked to her before the game, and she said her left shoulder popped out. They popped it back in. She came back in the game, and she says she can't wear a brace because it restricts her, and she looks fine moving around right now, number 13 for Florida State.
That's how much this championship means. Cunane gets a touch inside and draws the foul, and Elissa will head to the free throw line.
One of the things Valencia Myers does well for Florida State is defend the post, and she'll use up her 5 fouls. Watch how she's trying to be physical to keep Elissa Cunane from catching it close to the rim, and she picks up a foul on that. Cunane is a terrific free throw shooter for NC State, typically.
Close to 80%, but misses on the first. From Northern Guilford High School, 13 miles away. Used to come here and watch the ACC tournament as a kid, and now starring for an NC State team that is looking to regain the glory of years gone by under legendary head coach Kiah. Ekhomu, good job working the ball screen there, and she'll get a trip to the free throw line. 30 years of coaching, the last 7 of those coming at NC State for Westmore. A close second place finish in the ACC this year. And for West, the 2 seed, the best for NC State since they won their last championship. And after stumbling down the stretch, losing 3 of their last 6, they've refound their winning ways.
Ace Konig, the senior point guard, this morning told me Westmore was so nervous this morning. He looked like he's aged 10 years in this event. But she said, it doesn't affect us. We're used to it. We know Coach Moore gets us prepared to play, especially on this stage.
27-4 on the year. They are right now a projected 3 seed, but a win here today would certainly put them in the discussion for a 2 seed, especially since UCLA lost yesterday in the Pac-12 semifinals. And there's a bucket for Jakia Brown-Turner, one of the top freshmen in the league.
It's good to see her pivoting on her feet. She also was stumbled by an ankle yesterday. And Florida State not able to connect.
And that is 2 quick fouls on Valencia Myers, and that's a problem. They will have to get 6'5" freshman River Baldwin on. She can look for more minutes today.
And right away, NC State digging deep into that front row depth, because if Sue Semrell can help it, she doesn't want to put Kiah Gillespie on Elissa Cunane.
Gillespie instead is Caleb Jones.
River Baldwin, the 6'5" freshman, will have the assignment now.
Nice slash to the rim by Brown-Turner, and a good assist from the big girl.
Now, Elissa Cunane is a willing passer. She will do a good job reading doubles, reading basket cuts, and that was a terrific slash by Jakia Brown-Turner.
Almost 3 minutes in, the Noles wanting for their first basket. They start out 0 for 4. 3 of those have been from beyond the arc. Baldwin, the freshman, blocked by Cunane.
Baldwin goes to her offhand. You don't need to counter right there when you got a one-on-one.
They got a 5-on-4. They find the shooter Crutchfield. That won't go. Cunane, the long arm of the law, and she is fighting for a 3rd opportunity, and Baldwin comes away with it.
if they let them play, that's to Florida State's advantage inside because they want to be physical with Elissa Cunane.
Way off the mark from Ekhomu. Some nerves perhaps for Florida State. They start out 0 for 6. But then the Wolfpack turn it right back over to them.
Well, you see NC State trying to run. They're trying to get out and run. And you know, how many times you hear me say run the floor hard and wide? You can get easy buckets that way. You can get into the legs of Florida State, which does not have the same depth that the Wolfpack has. NC State will have 3 seniors that come off the bench that all tore their ACL last year, that were starters last year. They give them seniors and add to their productivity.
Gillespie immediately doubled, but she fights through it for the Florida State first bucket of the day.
Yeah, she looks fine to me. She's smooth, she's moving well. NC State hasn't put her in any ball screen action yet because Jakia Brown-Turner is getting buckets at the rim.
She's problem slashing to the basket right now. She's got 6. And then a miscue between Wolfpack and Gillespie, who taps her chest.
And watch Jakia Brown-Turner right here, playing off the Cunane screen. When River Baldwin jumps out to hedge, it's not enough. It's a soft hedge, and Jakia Brown-Turner attacks that outside hip to the rim.
Brown-Turner will try from beyond the arc. And the air ball will give it right back to Florida State.
And Florida State not in rhythm offensively. 1 for 7 from the floor, yet they only trail by a possession here early.
Baldwin comes to the high post. Now Konig. Wolfpack will try for 3 and knock it down.
Nice job. It's a rise and a roll, or a roll and a rise, either way. It's a good job by River Baldwin to occupy space inside and give Norfolk a chance, or Wolfpack, excuse me, a chance to get up the court for a 3.
She had 16 yesterday in the semis. And the turnover on the walk. Just over 5 minutes in, all even in the ACC championship game. And the 2 powerhouses really that have taken over the Southeastern Conference in recent years, Mississippi State and South Carolina. State won it last year. South Carolina looking for a 6th in 7 years. It's ESPN Champ Week presented by Principal.
Well, there's a lot of good freshmen in that South Carolina-Mississippi State game. And for South Carolina, the #1 recruiting class for Dawn Staley. Leah Boston, the Defensive Player of the Year and Freshman of the Year in the SEC. And then Rakia Jackson for Mississippi State can really score in that dribble drive action that Vic Schaefer likes to run.
Big day coming your way with the 4 championship matchups. So far, only Jakia Brown-Turner has a basket for NC State. Florida State has started out shooting just 2 for 8, looking to heat things up. Ekhomu for 3, and there she goes. And the Noles have the lead.
Really good rhythm to that ATO for Sue Seminoles. They looked like they got a little more energy coming off the timeout than they started the game with.
Here is Brown-Turner, the freshman, off to the good start.
So that's 2 bumps. That should be a foul.
Wolfpack was able to body her up, and they forced the takeaway.
You're not allowed to displace the dribbler.
Ekhomu off the hesitation, the kick out, and the air ball. Courtney Weber off the bench.
Florida State doing an excellent job in their transition defense. They're really getting back as NC State's trying to make an effort to run the floor hard.
Just 2 shots so far for Ace Konig, only the 1 shot so far for Cunane. She got a trip to the free throw line out of it.
You know what, Beth, when the game slows down, NC State is so good at getting it inside. They need to start looking a little bit more for Cunane, see if they can help get him in rhythm.
Konig fouled on the shot by Weber. Will be her first.
I think this is a great start for Ace Konig, the senior for NC State, to get to the free throw line and see if she can get her rhythm going. She's usually pretty good at the self-correct on her jump shot.
Has spent some time with the Canadian national team. She's from British Columbia. Back-to-back seasons with over 90 three-pointers. She's got 76 so far this year. Only Jennifer Howard has knocked down more in state history. Ace is 2 on the list. Gets a couple of free throws in.
NC State likes to jam and go under on that ball screen action. That was good defense not to let Gillespie get a catch.
She's only had 2 shots so far as well in this first quarter. Good hustle to get another opportunity for State. Florida State.
That could be an issue today, right?
Yeah, can't shorten the names today. Good on the drive for Wolfpack. She is so strong to the rim. She's got 5.
Right down the lane line. I mean, a straight line drive for Wolfpack.
Now Gillespie is on Cunane defensively here. Let's see how that works out. Jones dribbles away from the screen and gets the layup.
And NC State's going to pick on Sammy Priestis, the freshman, who's a terrific three-point shooter on the offensive end. But they will try to take advantage of her defensively.
Number 2 in Garnet. A lot of ball screen action for both sides today. Gillespie trying to face up now. Backs in on Cunane and hits the fade.
Cunane knows she can't pick up any fouls, so she doesn't want to get too physical in that matchup. If I'm Sue Seminoles, I'm going to continue to put pressure on Elissa Cunane on the defensive end. Because NC State's a different team when she's not on the floor.
Konig gets an open look. Can't put it down. Ace starts out 0 for 3. So after the cold start here for Florida State, they've hit 5 of their last 7 shots and have settled in nicely. Gillespie a chance to face up. And this is NC State's game. They got a 4-on-2 led by Jones. Konig finds a spot and knocks it down.
When Kiah Jones rebounds, they get into their transition game very quickly. She doesn't need the outlet, and that's a power 4 that can get up the floor.
And a forearm shiver from Kai Crutchfield. Let's go back to that break.
Watch the rebounding ability, and then how NC State floods the lanes. One here, running ahead of the basketball. It's a terrific job to get up the court, and Ace Konig, you know she's spotting up for 3. So is Crutchfield. Great decision by Kiah Jones to no personnel. You want the second best three-point shooter in ACC history getting that option.
The pick, the roll, and the finish.
And that's why Florida State can't win without Gillespie. She is so tough to deal with offensively. She is a matchup problem for everyone in the ACC.
Final minute of this first quarter in our ACC championship game.
Here's a matchup that's a good one for NC State with Jones and Priestis.
Konig. Now a chance for Ekhomu to circle back and take the final shot.
Well, it's a good decision. I'm waiting for Gillespie to get down the floor if I'm the point guard also. This is going to be a flare screen.
Oh, she flared into the ball handler. And now she'll try for 3 and get it. Out of the chaos, the clutch triple and a 5-point lead at the end of the first.
Kiah Gillespie, the senior for Florida State. You want to invert her to the block? Sue Seminoles got to play for that. You want to play her one-on-one in the post? She got a nice little fadeaway jump shot. She can power away in transition. How about this? Set her feet for a flare. Knocks down a triple the last 2 minutes. She's had the last 7 points for Florida State to give them the lead.
And after an 0 for 6 start, they hit on 70% the rest of the way. Led by the 3 seniors who scored all their points for them. For NC State, Cunane and Konig were only 1 for 6 in that first quarter. But keep in mind, yesterday NC State blew out Boston College 25-6 with a monster second quarter. Can they do it again? Let's check in with Kelly Gramlich as Jada Boyd comes in and scores, Kelly.
Well, that's perfect timing because Westmore called for Jada Boyd to enter the game for the first time in that huddle. I think he wants her to help guard Kiah Gillespie. They also were drawing up more action for Ace Konig in that huddle. She's 1 for 5, but they're not going away from their senior shooter.
You can't go away from her. She's helped bring you here. And with Gillespie, you need a change of energy and athleticism on her.
Boyd did indeed draw that assignment on that last possession. Oh, they had Jada running the floor too. May have gotten away with a walk right there. That did Kayla Ely. You referenced the 3 former starters who went through ACL rehab to be contributors off the bench. She is one of them, and what a huge moment it would be for her, Erica Cassell, and Grace Hunter to go through what they had to change their roles for this team, Debbie, and to have a chance to hoist that trophy.
It would be special. It would mean a great deal to those 3 seniors.
Gillespie trying to post up on Boyd.
Boyd doing a good job of fronting her in the post. They've seen her using her energy, her quickness, a little bit of her length.
And will be called for the foul, trying to swat that pass from behind. Women's Air Force Reserve AAC semifinals continue today. We'll have the UConn South Florida matchup for you at 4 Eastern on ESPN2. The Huskies, led by Crystal Dangerfield, looking for a 7th straight American championship. They've never lost in their 7 years in that conference, winning by an average of 41 points per game. They're looking to close out their stay in the American before moving on to the Big East. They return to the Big East next year. Their only losses this season are to the top teams in the country, South Carolina, Oregon, and Baylor.
Jada Boyd went down hard on that play, and she's shaking it off. Well, you can't make a mistake on Crucis.
Short on the 3. Cunane, who left early to end the first quarter, catching her breath, will stay on the sideline here to start the second. And in fact, after she was going to check in, Wes Moore said, go back to the bench, and now he's changed his mind again. And she's going to return to check in at the scorer's table.
Well, as long as Sammy Puisis is playing post-up defense on Kayla Jones, that's an advantage for NC State. And Kayla Jones is going to go take a seat. So now Puisis is going to move over and have to guard Jada Boyd. Either way, I'm putting her in a post-up position.
Jakia Brown-Turner, she'll rattle home a 3.
He's been hot in the first half. How about the freshman showing up in her first ACC championship?
She's got 9. And that'll tie it up for NC State. Ekhomu counters.
You go under, and she's going to make you pay. She's so good at reading that ball screen action for Sue Semrau. Answers what I call the 3 W's. Who to get the ball to, when and where. But sometimes you got to call your own number.
That helps you get the 4th W, right? That'll be the win. Yes. Oh, okay, so Brown-Turner says, all right, I see what you got, Ekhomu. NC State grabs the lead. 3 minutes into our second quarter. Ekhomu off the screen. The pass opposite.
NC State's got to be careful not to overhelp on that dribble penetration with the 3-point shooters on the floor.
River Baldwin scrapping like crazy to keep it away from Cunane inside.
Jakia Brown-Turner's got to move.
Here comes the double, well read by Cunane to find Boyd.
She's so good at that. Just a sophomore.
She's got a couple of assists already. Puisis, deep 3. Boyd did not get out far enough. She looked down at the floor and thought she was.
I got to get my tape measure out for that one.
Not with Sammy.
Wow. Well, Louisville made a couple of mistakes on her yesterday, and she knocked down 2 triples.
Freshman out of Mason, Ohio, a prep All-American.
She She's played with a lot of confidence in the postseason. Cunane really fighting for position inside.
She'll get the offensive rebound, and an aggressive foul by River Baldwin there. Remember, they already have starting center Valencia Myers on the bench with 2 personal.
Watch the distance for Sammy Puisis. You got to get out with a longer closeout beyond the 3-point line to guard Sammy Puisis, the freshman who's only made 7 twos the whole season.
The doctor's got to diagnose that. She's got a case of archophobia. She's afraid to shoot it inside the line. Cunane knocks it down at the free throw line.
Hey, seriously, boy.
All about adjustments, right, Debbie, throughout the season, especially when you're playing in the league. Book on Elissa was you can get physical with it. And teams have done that and done it well. And so now the adjustment for her is to fight right back.
And what you do is you play the game low to high, so you drop your hips and you get on balance and you fight for position. It's a foot fight.
Another deep 3 from Ekhomu. Jones, and now Konig. We got everybody on the perimeter right now, keeping those driving lanes open. And then the kick out to Konig. Ace has not found the place yet, 1 for 6.
Well, if she wants to win the hardware, she better start shooting it better.
Entertaining first half, and our first of 4 championship games and 1 for Ekhomu. Seniors want to go out for Florida State, making some history of their own. Trying to bring home the first ACC title.
4:46 to play in the second quarter, and we are all tied up. Nicki Ekhomu with a contact and a chance at the line coming back.
Oh, we got 6 ties, 4 lead changes already, gang, and only a biggest lead of the day of 5 points. The seniors have been solid for Florida State so far. They've got the 1-point advantage. Big day ahead with all the championship games to come. The SEC is up next, followed by the Big Ten championship, and then the Pac-12 championship. Your top seeds, South Carolina, Maryland, Oregon. Baylor doesn't get started with the Big 12 tournament. They got a regular season game today, and then their tournament starts later in the week. Triple from the corner is good.
Again, NC State over-helping on the strong corner, leaving a wide-open 3-point shooter on penetration. You better guard your own right now and keep those dominant downhill guards of Florida State in front.
13 for Ekhomu, 12 for Brown-Turner, the leading scorers this afternoon. Check in with Kelly.
Guys, in that Florida State huddle, the most vocal player by far was Nicki Ekhomu, the senior point guard. Sue also focused on Valencia Myers. She said, look, I know you have 2 fouls, but you still have to guard Cunane like you have 0 fouls and be super physical with her. Didn't mind if Myers picked up that 3rd foul, just wanted to be physical with Cunane inside.
Well, that's her job, Kelly. She's not out there to score. She didn't have the skill set to do so, but she can use that length and that body like there. Now, that was probably not a great foul for her to get because that's her 3rd. She's walking to the bench before Coach Sue even says anything to her.
You got to save those fouls for Cunane.
Exactly. That's not a very good closeout by Puisis, and that is a great take by Kayla Ely, one of those seniors that we were talking about earlier, with an incredible sense of urgency. It's why you come to NC State. Or one of the reasons is so you get a chance to play for an ACC championship.
The miss by Ely.
When you grow up in North Carolina, like many of these kids for NC State have done, you grow up in elementary school and middle school watching ACC tournament games during class. It's a part of the fabric of the lifestyle here. It's all hoops all the time.
You're not paying attention in class.
No, not at all. You roll in the television and your teacher lets you watch the ACC tournament. That's why kids grow up dreaming about an opportunity to be here. It's special. It means something.
43rd season. Of course, this year we are thinking in particular about a couple of folks that were instrumental in starting this. It's the oldest running tournament in women's basketball. Barbara Kelly and Jean Corrigan, who both passed away in the last year. But they were two of the fire starters, if you will, that really got it up and running and grown it into what it is today. And now the women's game and all the postseason tournaments that we will enjoy this afternoon and this evening.
It's a great tribute to Barbara Kelly and Jean Corrigan. They both love this event. For Gillespie. Cunane quickly getting NC State up the floor with the advanced pass and then the post. So you got to throw the ball in there to her when River Baldwin is bumping around like that. Otherwise, you're not going to call a foul.
And they're going to call the travel along the baseline.
It is really physical on the block. And so you just want it to be consistent if you're a coach. If that's the way it's going to be, you want to be able to tell your players that's what we're going to deal with today. It is for a championship.
I actually did not see the steps. But it's going to Florida State with a 4-point lead. Baldwin rejected by Cunane, and then a stare at the big girl.
There was no big smile on that.
She's the big growl right now.
She recovers nicely and gets a piece of all ball. Allows NC State to set their defense. And NC State needs to do a better job on this end of the floor. Guard your player.
Ekhomu. Shot clock winding down. She'll launch for three. And now NC State will try for its first basket in over 5 minutes. Cunane steps out beyond the line and drains the three.
There's money out there.
I think they've made her mad, Debbie.
Uh-oh, we don't get to see that side of her very often.
1-point game, final minute of the first half.
She shoots 42% from outside the three-point line. How about that
move? They're trying to get Gillespie a touch here in the final minute.
You're going to get a 2-for-1 opportunity here, Florida State.
Does not get the bounce. NC State has numbers on the run. And Brown-Turner did not see Baldwin trailing. And now essentially Florida State can hold for a final shot.
Their tempo is to Kiah Gillespie's liking right now. Because she's struggling running up and down the floor, but she doesn't struggle when the ball's in her hands.
Ekhomu will have to create. Calling for a screen, but Baldwin wasn't looking, so she'll take the three and miss it. And River Baldwin missed the assignment right there.
And she looks over the bench and she goes, my bad. You can't have any more of those my bads in a title game.
Not good if it goes. And the ACC championship is a 1-point game at the break. Florida State up 1. A quiet first half for Elissa Cunane. As Florida State did a good job on her defensively, the seniors for the Noles were spectacular.
Main focus in that NC State huddle was not on the offensive end. Westmore believes the shots will fall for his team. The focus was on Nicki Ekhomu, as you guys mentioned, 13 points, 4 assists. She's been excellent. They have to be able to cut off the head of the snake and make sure they can guard her on ball screens. She was the focus of that huddle.
6 ties, 5 lead changes. Neither side has been up by more than a couple of buckets. And now 20 minutes for the ACC championship. And Gillespie misses on her first attempt. River Baldwin's second chance. And NC State couldn't keep it in play.
So Elissa Cunane has 0 fouls in the first half. And as physical as the first half was on the block, it's time for her to get physical back. You can be aggressive because you don't have any fouls right here to start the second. And the other thing, Beth, is Louisville gave multiple ball screen defensive looks to Nicki Ekhomu, and she solved every riddle, if you will, just like she did right there. She is terrific in that ball screen action. I think her WNBA stock is going up because of it.
Offensive rebound for Wolfpack, so they'll have another look at it here. Baldwin. Cunane had the D.
That's what I'm talking about. Elissa Cunane can take a risky play. She can look to block a shot. She can get a little more physical, especially on this end in her post-ups.
Cunane and Konig were quiet offensively in that first half. Their inside threat, their outside threat. Jakia Brown-Turner had the big first half with 12 points. Kiah Crutchfield, it's the 3.
And someone's going to have to be able to knock down perimeter shots in the second half for NC State to take some pressure off Cunane on the block. Ace Konig, 1 for 6 outside the three-point line.
Gillespie spinning and finding just enough space.
That's a veteran play on the block, Beth. You see how she pivots and creates space with her pivot.
She's got 11.
When Konig dribbles too much and that time dribbles into traffic, it's not the rhythm of the offense for NC State. Watch Crutchfield, comes off this ball screen, Wolfpack goes under. That's what you're supposed to do when you're a shooter. And then Gillespie, look, it shows the ball, pivots, gets that separation so she can get into her elevation on her shot. It's beautiful footwork.
Brown-Turner took the extra step.
At the half, they had to focus on Gillespie's back, and Emily, the FSU trainer, just told me they used the Theragun on her back to really work out the tightness and make sure she was good to go in the second half.
I got a Theragun at home. I actually use that. I know how that helps.
What is it? Like a roller?
It's like a jackhammer for your body.
There you go. Ekhomu short on the 3.
Sue Bird in the studio knows what I'm talking about.
She had to use that?
I'm sure Sue Bird has used that before.
Sue's been able to stay in the WNBA and stay on the U.S. Olympic team a long time. Going for a 5th gold medal this summer and what, a 4th WNBA title this summer. They got Brianna Stewart back on the court in Seattle and with Team USA.
Good hustle by the Pack on the glass. That's Kayla Jones, whose number and name we haven't called much yet, but she will have an impact because she's that power forward that plays well in this system for Westmore.
Trying to run Konig off some screens. Good job by Jones to hang right on her hip. And they're going to get ace for the charge. Outstanding by Morgan Jones, just trailing her all over the court.
See, what Ace has to do right now is show some offensive maturity because she's trying to make something happen. She's not getting clean looks from the 3 because now Morgan Jones's length is on her. So twice she's dribbled to the middle of the floor and nothing good has come from it for NC State.
Ekhomu is out, so they got Wolfpack handling the ball here. River Baldwin trying to get Cunane tucked under the rim. Cunane, the trail 3. Good! She's hit a couple of those today.
Elissa Cunane is a terrific trail post shooter. She's got 17 on the season, and I bet 80% of them are trail 3s.
Wolfpack in traffic, takes the hit, then gets gets to the line.
Tough competitors, this senior class for Florida State. Trail 3, spots up. Beautiful. That's 6'5". I love to see a 6'5" shoot a 3 like that.
Wolfpack, who's enjoying her best season in her final year in Tallahassee. A 1,000-point score, good free throw shooter. Completes the three-point play, and we are tied again. Konig to Cunane, and that is a foul. The armbar up on Gillespie.
2 hands in the back.
Yep.
That's a foul.
That's her first.
Same with Gillespie. That's her first foul. I'd go right back to Cunane with Gillespie defending her.
Brown-Turner to the left hand, short. Cunane with the offensive rebound. Jones! NC State has hit 4 of their last 5 from downtown. On the drive, and that's the second on Cunane.
Yeah, see, she's got to stay away from that one right there. That's not a smart play. Jakia Brown-Turner keeps it alive. Cunane comes down with a rebound, and there's Kayla Jones. I told you we'd be calling her name soon.
5 points, 5 rebounds for Jones, and now at the line, Courtney Weber took a little place in Florida State folklore yesterday with her trip to the free throw line, cold off the bench after an injury, and she dropped too late. Made a couple of big plays for them down the stretch in the upset of top-seeded Louisville. Charlie Crean, by the way, says Louisville holds firm as a 2 seed, probably still going to Fort Wayne, with Maryland as the 1 seed. Of course, we got Charlie in the studio all day long for you with the bracketology updates. Konig stepping back. Brown-Turner follows, misses.
Got to stop the ball.
Good closeout by Crutchfield, but not on Wolfpack. She counters with 3. She's got 11 now, and Florida State back on top. Good box out there by Priestess.
Maybe too quick.
Gillespie 3. Oh, this is end-to-end action now here. Under 5 to go in this third quarter. ACC Championship trophy and the automatic bid to the tournament. Of course, NC State is a 3 seed. Got to be in the discussion for a 2 seed if they win today.
Absolutely.
And Florida State with a win today. I don't see how they don't host as an ACC champion and get a top 16 seed.
Absolutely agree. Plus,
with a late charge for them, the win over Louisville yesterday.
Oh, way off by Priestess. Here comes NC State on the run with numbers.
They find Jones. That one won't go. White jerseys on the glass. Konig, open look, got it.
The three-point line is open for NC State. They made 4 threes in the first half. They've got 4 here in the second.
Corner jumper, no.
NC State really looking to run.
Konig pulls up and knocks down her second shot in a row. Timeout, Seminoles. Pack fans are on their feet in Greensboro as they open it up a bit.
Ace Konig spotting up outside the three-point line, relocating on an offensive rebound. And she's on a little 5-0 run for the Pack herself.
NC State last won the championship in 1991. A year later, Florida State joined the league. They have yet to take home that trophy. And when you think of all the legends over the last 43 years, from Bullitt and Staley to Stinson and Palmer, Schweitzer and Latta, Langhorne and Beard, and in recent years, Lloyd and Durr. Some of the greats that have taken home the title. Who will add their names to that list? The historic program of NC State, or making some history for Florida State in the final 13 minutes. NC State's got the hot hand from downtown. They'll take it inside to score here. And for Florida State, the story again is their three seniors. They've scored 35 of their 39 points.
NC State off the timeout with excellent ball movement. They get Boyd on a mismatch inside. And Ekhomu's been quiet here until now.
Calms it down and ends the 7-0 NC State run. SEC finals coming up next. Crutchfield, terrific on the cross, but not the finish.
It's a great drive right through the middle, and you know, it's grind it time right now. I mean, who wants it more? You're gonna have to really dig in to be able to finish this off.
Big Ten final coming up later this afternoon. Tonight in prime time on the Deuce, Oregon and Stanford.
Konig had to cover this.
Weber, and the reaching foul will be called. 4-point NC State lead. Back in a moment. They did a year ago, or will it be the big three of Oregon getting the job done? Ionescu, Sobbs, and Ruthie. And then the shooters for that Oregon side. And as she makes a remarkable run, you start talking about the all-time greats, whether she's on that list. I think everybody agrees the ring is the thing. You got to have a championship to get into that room, into the discussion with the likes of the Tarasis and the Cheryl Millers and the Liebermans and Myers. Some perspective on Sabrina. Here are some of the legends that she has surpassed. More points than Tarasi, Leslie, or Asia Wilson in college. More rebounds than Catchings, Elena Beard, and Elena Deladon. More assists than Stanley Edwards or Sue Bird. Some of the all-time greats. She's the only player ever with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 1,000 assists.
Certainly puts it in great context there. There's a lot of future Hall of Famers on that list.
But if anyone can match what's whether it's the legendary Tara Vanderveer, who's approaching Pat Summitt on the list of career wins in the women's game.
But not every player on that list has a title, though.
You're talking about national champs, Olympians, WNBA champs after their collegiate days. Here's what we're talking about with Tara Vanderveer and that career wins list. That you want to talk about impressive company. She is now just 5 wins shy all time of Hall of Famer Pat Summitt. Gino Auriemma is approaching the mark as well at Connecticut.
Very impressive numbers by both of them. And of course, tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN2, we'll get to see 2 top 10 teams trying to battle for the Pac-12 championship.
We got Gino's Huskies playing at 4 o'clock today on ESPN2 in the American Conference semis. Their final primetime tomorrow night. Final 30 seconds here of the third. With the shot clock off, Wolfpack wants a screen.
Good do.
Didn't get the switch. Last touch by NC State.
Really good defense by Jakia Brown-Turner. I think she's NC State's best perimeter defender. She was left off the all-defensive team. 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Ekhomu gets it up, front rims it, and out. 2-point lead, NC State over Florida State with 10 minutes to play for an Atlantic Coast Conference Championship Will it be the Noles? Or will the Pack make it all the way back to the top? 47-45, North Carolina State over Florida State. 10 minutes for an ACC championship. Sue Semrau on the left, Westmore on the right. It would be a first for both of these coaches. First in school history for the Noles. First since 1991 for NC State when Kiah won her 4th tournament title to go along with her 5 regular season championships.
It is one of the most coveted crowns in college basketball on the women's side. It's the longest standing postseason tournament, the longest history. It means something to the North Carolina State players who grew up here. It means something to Florida State seniors.
What do you remember?
I remember my teammates cutting down the nets.
NC State, what year?
1985, I have one of those 4.
Big moment about to happen, and Wolfpack wants it to be a garnet and gold celebration. She's got 14. Seniors now with 43 of their 47 points. Blow by to the basket, Jada Boyd. Gillespie with 15, Cunane 9.7 rebounds for the 2 studs today.
That's just, I'm faster than you, and I'm going to the basket.
That's more picking on Puisis right there. Semrau will get her out of the game. And that's the trade-off, right, for Sue. Okay, we want Sammy in there for 3s, but we gotta be wary on the defensive end.
And see, Konig can help in the lane because Morgan Jones is not a threat from 3-point range.
Offensive foul going to be called here on Ekhomu. That's her first. Let's check in with Kelly Gramlich.
Sue Semrau has been incredibly animated in these last 2 Florida State huddles. At one point, she looked at her team and said, "Are you tired? You have to go earn it." Love what Sue Semrau is bringing, trying to win her first ACC tournament title in 23 years at FSU.
She's got a couple of regular season championships. She's got, what, 4 Coach of the Year trophies on the mantle at home, but sure, this one would be special.
Cunane being aggressive off the bounce, draws a charge. Going back to the free throw line, you could see her excellent touch. It's not a surprise that she's 2 for 2 outside the 3-point line in the game. As physical as it's been on the block, she has the skill set to step away from pressure and still be a factor.
Double figures now for Elissa with 11. Ekhomu. Good pull up and pop.
Numbers.
Konig running the floor with Boyd, and Ace will jack the 3.
Is Florida State tired? They might be. NC State running the lanes hard and wide. 7-0 run for the Wolfpack. See everybody standing around for Florida State, no movement.
They'll launch the 3 to beat the buzzer. Clutch from Wolfpack.
What an answer.
Conservative strength over there on the middle, Debbie, and right in front of Semrau puts it in. Going to be very important, though, watching here for them to manage their timeouts well, the media timeout well. And now running on adrenaline. Pull-up is good from Crutchfield.
Good job playing off that double screen on the top of the floor. Turn the corner looking to score.
Tried to trap the ball screen.
High hands.
at the top of the key, and that's going to be on Brown-Turner.
Konig gets down the floor, spots up, bottom. She gets NC State fans off their feet. Wolfpack says, shot clock down to 3, bottom. Everybody sit back down.
That's the second on Brown-Turner. No real foul problems. Myers has 3 if she comes back into the game for Florida State. Off the bounce, Weber, Gillespie, unattended, weak side. Got it. 17 for Kiah. Boyd spins to her right, and a foul on Priestess.
It's a tough matchup. Sue Semrau, as you mentioned, 3s for 2s. Plus her ability to change the space on the floor. Gillespie gets an easy one inside on the weak side glass.
Boyd, a 62% free throw shooter. Hey, don't forget that as we round out Championship Sunday for you, we'll get ready for Women's Selection Monday, March 16th, 7 o'clock on ESPN, the unveiling of the bracket. Sign up now, by the way, for the ESPN Women's Tournament Challenge, ESPN.com/TC Women, brought to you by Capital One. Match your wits against some of the ESPN personalities. Ekhomu now has drawn 2 fouls off the ball just with her speed and her quickness here.
Consistency.
And Crutchfield has picked up 2 quick ones, so now she has 4. And we'll have to check out. Wolfpack. Konig has it. Opportunity for NC State to extend, and now they're starting to call some ticky-tack stuff on both sides here. Ekhomu's going to get called. That's her second. But what that does do is it jacks up the team fouls now, so 4 on both sides. So neither team will have a foul to give later in the game. Remember, in women's hoops, 5 fouls in a quarter, and you're automatically shooting 2 free throws.
Through the elevator door screen. Good defense by Courtney Weber. Florida State switching. And Boyd just misses a catch.
Trying to pick on Priestess again, and too hot on that one. 6 minutes to go. Who's making plays for an ACC championship? Florida State seniors who have led them all the way this year, taking matters in their own hands in the NCAA tournament. Players like Kiah Gillespie trying to beat the top 2 seeds to bring home the trophy. And help from the rookie Priestess for 3 on the second chance. For NC State, really spreading out those driving lanes. And now they get the post up for Boyd.
Well, she asked for a bounce pass last time, and Konig gave her one.
Gillespie, good help. White jerseys around the rebound, and Boyd traveled. A 2-point game, under 5 to go in Greensboro. 2-point game, under 5 to go for the ACC championship. And don't forget, you can turn it over to the ACC network for our post-game coverage and the trophy presentation. And don't forget, SportsCenter tonight comes your way after the XFL game. Kenny Mayne and John Anderson, they got reacts to Lakers Clippers. Also more tickets punched for the NCAA tournament. And 25 years later, SC featured, looking at the U.S. women's baseball team, all coming up late night tonight.
Happy International Women's Day to you.
To you as well. 4 pack players in double figures. 3 for Florida State in double digits, including Kiah Gillespie, who's now got 20.
What a nice ball fake, just to get NC State leaning to get into the rhythm of her shot. And Florida State looks like they're in lockdown on defense.
Our 11th lead change of the afternoon. Cunane has it blocked by Gillespie. And then a foul on Elissa. That is her 3rd. And that is also the team 5th. Free throws coming.
Jada Boyd leaves the ball to get back to Puisis. It's good spacing on the top of the floor by Florida State because you got 2 3-point threats that NC State had to deal with. Good ATO by Sue Seminoles.
Well, Debbie, fair to say that Kiah and Cunane will be the access points, but there are a lot of different weapons around them to eventually get the ball to here down the stretch.
You're going to have to dig in and guard your own right now. NC State was over helping in the first half. I don't think they've done that as much in the second.
You always say you don't want their best player to beat you, right? So where do the teams have to turn to? 7-0 run for the Seminoles to jump back in front.
I think this is a play for Kayla Jones.
Here she is. Back to Konig. Cunane and Gillespie both hit the deck. Shot clock down to 3. Konig doesn't see it and does not get it up in time.
Another terrific defensive stance, back-to-back by Florida State. And as the point guard, that's your responsibility to know time and score.
There's the other point guard, the decision maker, Nicki Ekhomu. Gillespie for 3 more. Got it!
They run that set. It's a step back for Gillespie. Cunane was protecting for the roll. Good read by the senior Gillespie.
10 unanswered. State goes to Cunane to answer their first bucket in 4 minutes. Stripped by Cunane, comes up with the defensive play. Jones working on Puisis, missed the layup. That was the look State wanted.
Well, Puisis isn't going to commit a foul there, and Jones needs to finish that play. You get the matchup and the ball where you want it.
They get Gillespie a touch, the face up, back it in, down on the deck, she's turned it over twice in a row. Numbers for NC State. They got Cunane wide open underneath, and they don't get it to her. Screaming for the ball. And now she's double teamed. Konig for 3.
Seniors in this moment.
Timeout, Florida State. Both sides with plenty to cheer about right now. Big finish coming.
We're all tied up, and watch Elissa Cunane. Numbers for NC State. She's wide open. She's got the point guard on her. Get me the ball. Then she senses the double, kicks it out. Good ball movement by the Pack. And it results in the hands of the second-best three-point shooter in NC State history.
Rising to the occasion, both sides better than 60% shooting in this 4th quarter.
Good deflection by Cunane, who's made a couple of defensive plays as well down the stretch.
And now Sue Seminoles will get Valencia Myers into the game and expect some more physical play. She's still got 2 fouls to get. No, wait, they're going with Courtney Weber here, a different look. More athletic look with 15 on the shot clock. Two minutes to go. Woolfolk gets it right back off the miss. Cunane clears and a foul.
A terrific traffic rebound by Cunane, who will walk to the free throw line. Elissa Cunane in traffic. Watch Woolfolk. A shooter follows their shot when they know it's off, and Woolfolk knew she missed it. Good job, principal verticality on Jones. Good rebound by the kid who grew up 13 miles away from Greensboro Coliseum and came here as an elementary school student on field trips.
The first ACC title back in 1980, the likes of Gina Beasley and Trudy Lacey, Connie Rogers, June Doby. The last title in 1991, Sharon Manning had 30 points and 19 rebounds that day, alongside Rhonda Mack and Andrea Stinson. It's been that long for the Pack, and they're up one.
Come with a long closeout on number 2. She's a three-point shooter.
Ekhomu, terrific spin. The pitch out for 3. Scrap for the rebound. Still down on the deck. Held ball to NC State.
It allows Susemrau to get offense, defense, and substitutions on the floor. Look at Gillespie, the box out by Cunane. Gillespie sneaks a hand in there, and then who wants it more?
Neither side with fouls to give. Florida State a couple of timeouts. NC State still has 4. And now the possession arrow will flip over to the Seminoles. 6-0 run here for the Wolfpack to jump back in front. Jones, crossover, working on Baldwin, and a foul.
Florida State switching on their man-to-man defense, and Kayla Jones down the lane line. Knows she can take River Baldwin off the bounce, and here comes Puisis for offensive purposes. Can't let her get free for a 3. River Baldwin doesn't have the foot speed to keep up with Kayla Jones, and she blows by her to the rim to draw a foul.
Their 15th final in 43 years. They were last year in 2010, lost to Duke. 2007, lost to Carolina. 2001, lost to Duke. Short, and then an offensive rebound and another foul.
What a great rebound by Jakia Brown-Turner. Just jumps over the top of Woolfolk, who doesn't get a body into the freshman. Allows space and separation for her to elevate with that length.
Meanwhile, on the Seminole side, those seniors desperately trying to be the group to make history. The party probably still going on in Tallahassee after the men won the regular season yesterday. And now the women need a comeback here in the final minute to keep it going.
You got to get in the stance. You got to close to the three-point line.
Gillespie's got it. Spinning away, and a foul on Cunane.
Kiah Gillespie wants the ball. Watch her footwork inside. She uses that pivot so well to separate from the defender. Here's a good angle. And see, Cunane, when you put that hand down, if she'd stayed tall with a principal verticality, she would not have drawn that foul. What a game.
Missed the second, tipped out. Konig and Gillespie into the Seminole bench. And it will go to NC State.
The ball on the floor is to NC State, but they're going to take a look at it. Cunane lost her shoe on that play. just like a kid, she can't get the knot out. So she runs over to assistant coach Lindsay Edmonds to get it out. Looks like it's going to be NC State's ball. The call on the floor is to NC State.
Oh, it looks like she got the top of the ball right there, and then it drove down into the sideline. And it does not go off of Konig at all over there. She tried to swipe it off of Ace's leg.
And if Florida State gets the ball, they have a chance to call timeout and advance it. They've got 2 timeouts remaining.
Let's check in with Kelly.
The officials were really focusing on the amount of time left in this game, spent most of that review focusing on the time. We know seconds are super precious as we get under a minute in this ACC championship game.
Well, 0.06 is, or 0.6 is good enough for a tip late if it comes to it. That's what they added. NC State cannot score on the inbound, but they will keep possession.
NC State basketball. What a risky backdoor look by NC State. And they're going to have to take another look at this. This is a great pass out of bounds. Jakia Brown-Turner. I thought that was a foul there by Wolfpack.
Okay, so on this one, Baldwin touches it first, but is it Cunane that tips it out? Oof.
Another close one. It looks to me like it's off Cunane's hands.
Well, they might reverse this. It's called on the floor, NC State ball. And it will stay with NC State.
Not close enough to overturn it. They call the floor stands.
Konig and a foul on the push of Cunane. That'll be on Ekhomu.
I don't think you want to foul there.
There was only 27 seconds on the shot clock.
I mean, you had a chance to play really good defense there and then get the ball back.
So Cunane to the line. She's 6 for 8. Misses the first. Four-point lead. Timeout to advance for Florida State. They don't need it yet, but if it comes to a 3, they've been shooting it well in the 4th quarter. They're 5 for 8. But they have time still to make something happen, especially with outstanding dribble penetrators at the guard position. Beth Mullins alongside Debbie Antonelli. ACC championship on the line. So now half court, they'll advance it here, and I got to think Kiah Gillespie's going to get a touch at some point.
I would even think maybe a direct pass right into the post and try to put some pressure on NC State's defense. They certainly can look to extend the game here with the best shot available. They don't need a 3 yet. They can attack the rim and look for an offensive rebound. But I would put the ball in either Kiah Gillespie's hands or Wolfpack or Ekhomu driving to the bucket.
25 for Gillespie, 17 for Wolfpack. Ekhomu with 15 and 5 assists. Here is Nicki. She'll try it off the bounce. And a couple free throws coming.
Good drive, good strong take off the bounce.
And Kai Crutchfield is just fouled out.
Looked like she was trying to get off the contact, but there was enough there because you have to protect the shooter.
Crutchfield out. Kayla Ely coming on. Remember, Kayla, one of the former starters last year, 3 of them whose season ended with ACL injuries, and now she's back out there. Will she have a big moment down the stretch as Ekhomu hits the first?
That's why Westmore saved all his timeouts. He didn't burn one at all until now. Now he's got 2 until this point in the game anyway.
Florida State has 1 and the possession arrow in a 2-point game. So now do you play it out? You'd have
Yes.
at least 9 seconds left if you get a stop.
Play it out. I think you play good defense here. It's a 2-point game. Try to get a stop.
And you saw Sue Semrau just said, hey, let's get the rebound.
Get a timeout.
And get a timeout.
I think if you're NC State, now you're not going back door again. You already ran that play. I think you're cutting hard to the ball. You're going to run your sets. You're going to try to get it inside to Elissa Cunane.
Another huge day for the Florida State seniors, led by Gillespie with 25. Ace has been able to dial it up from deep. And NC State has scored 10 of the last 13 points for the 2-point edge. Inbound to Cunane, who immediately gets it to Konig.
They got an overload. They got a mismatch. Inside, Courtney Weber on Cunane.
Entry to Cunane and a foul with 21.5 to go.
You know, when you're big on the perimeter, you're trying to get that switch to get back to that matchup, but the spacing was just enough by Konig that Kiah Gillespie could not get back inside to switch with Weber.
Misses the front again. So it'll be a 1-possession game for State. Make or miss here. Timeout, Florida State, their last to advance to midcourt, and the shot clock will be off. And do you like the 2 or the 3 here? They got 4 different guys that have hit a 3 today.
I like the 2. I like continuing to extend the game, but Florida State this year has had a lot of close losses, and they won a close game yesterday against Louisville. So I think with 21.5, I still think I'm getting the best shot available, quickly looking to score, trying to get an offensive rebound, trying to extend the game.
How's this for a start to your day, folks? We got 4 more finals coming from the SEC, Big Ten. 3 more finals coming, SEC, Big Ten, and Pac-12, as well as UConn, USF in an American Conference semifinal. We just lined them all up for you. Noon, 2, 4, 6, and 8.
What a day. What a start.
Great preview for the NCAA tournament, of course. ESPN is your home for every game. Extended coverage, by the way, this year for the NCAA tournament. You can see games in their entirety on several different networks in the ESPN family.
That's a huge addition in the partnership between ESPN and the NCAA.
All leads to the Final Four in NOLA. There we go. Down 3, Florida State.
Through the elevator door screen.
Looking for the quick 3. Short on the shot. Rebound, Cunane, and a foul.
Cunane's going to the free throw line. And she gets up with that big smile. They get a pretty good look for Wolfpack. Through the elevator door screen, she's knocking them down all game. She's short. Cunane gets the rebound, and then you see the foul.
So how many times for Elissa Cunane do you think she has been in this moment, growing up 13 miles away, went to Northern Guilford High School? How many little girls out there dreamed of hitting the winning shots to ice a championship? You know, her dad, Dan, has seen her hit at least 1,000 of these, maybe calling the play-by-play himself. Got them both.
We need a 3 here.
Ekhomu, Cunane got out in the passing lane. 7.2 to go. They've been waiting since 1991, the Wolfpack, to bring the trophy home. And they're going to get it. NC State, the Pack is back on top.